Sure.
It's my lucky day.
It's been a while since we first set foot on Inazuma. So many things have happened since then. Yeah, we've definitely made some progress on our journey. So, where should we go today? Huh? Hey! What the heck was that for? Doesn't want to talk, huh? Alright, let's convince him to calm down a little.
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all? Seems like I've mistaken you for someone else.
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person before you go attacking them. No, wait. Even when you've got the right person, you shouldn't go attacking them out of the blue. It's dangerous.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaedahara Kazuha? He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animo vision. That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around here, waving that weird sword in our faces, and he didn't even apologize. Seems like a real nutcase. Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him anything about Kazuha. Hey! Don't be mean! I'm on smart lots of the time! Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go find Kazuha right away and— Oh? What kind of hunch? A special connection? You mean beyond? Yeah, maybe a little. But then again, most people look pretty much the same once they start fighting, so that doesn't really prove anything. Anyway, there's no time to lose. Let's go tell Kazuha so we won't get into any danger. Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there. Hello? Do you know where Kazuha is?
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all. Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumans, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha. If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention. Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did?
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be? Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. In that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved. He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryo Commission. They said they had something important to discuss with him. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like they really respect the guy.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable. Thank you! Guess we'll go go pay a visit to the Tenryo Commission.
All right then. I'll just stay here and carry on trying to fend off the crowd.
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt Decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome to listen in on the conversation. We invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Shogunate. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed? In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun. The Kaidahara clan belonged to this class. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaidahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaidahara clans was neither proper nor just. Considering Mr. Kaidahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters. We trust you can understand why this was necessary.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the Almighty Shogun and the Shogunate at large. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice. With the Kaidahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaidaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end. You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the Almighty Shogun's blessing and full support of the Shogunate.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall walls of a stately abode. Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaidahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood. I do have a responsibility to restore their honor.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaidahara Kazuha in town.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedahara really parried the Shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaedahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turns you old and frail, and Kazuha still looks fine.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way. But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
Please allow me some time to consider. In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No, this puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaedahara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
All the more reason to watch your back! This guy was a serious nutcase.
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive. Anyone he targets is at risk of serious injury, or worse.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer. I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked her, then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say. Hey there! We'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaedahara Kazuha, we mean.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaedehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaedehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaedehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions? Of mora? Whoa! Oh, wait, even at that price, you probably still shouldn't.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaedehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads, and I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
That does make sense. Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. I will try my best to gather whatever leads I can for you. Oh, actually, there was one strange incident over the last few days. It doesn't involve an attack, though. Let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure. During times like this, the more information we have, the better.
All right then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Amenoma. Now there's a familiar name.
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smithy. 2 grown men going missing at the same time. Their cases are likely connected, but I don't know much in the way of details. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Understood, though it seems highly
Sure, can't hurt. We never know what we might find out along the way.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries at the Amenoma Smithy.
Sounds good. All the best with your investigation. I'll get moving shortly myself.
Welcome to Bonton Saga Detective Agency. What will you have me solve?
Ah, if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha. What brings you here today?
Huh? You two know each other?
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the 2 clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Let me quickly explain. The Raiden Gokaden was the collective term for the 5 most acclaimed bladesmithing arts in Inazuma. The techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed to the Raiden Gokaden by the almighty Shogun, and over time, further honed and enhanced by the most talented craftsmen. Unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of many clans in the bladesmithing trade. Today, only the Amenoma clan has kept its art alive.
So sad.
It is a great pity indeed. In the old days, we each had our specialties, and just as iron sharpens iron, so too did we learn much from each other. As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water as it turns stone to sand. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the Ishin art.
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive and well.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryo Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far. He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what to make of it, but I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryo Commission.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift. I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse, and neither of them came back. Yes, strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody knows what really happened.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the sword.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for, he attacked this friend of mine. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
What? No. Absolutely impossible. Yuya is not that kind of person. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. He has never gotten into a fight before.
Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear with neither farewell nor fair warning. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met each other. Let's pay a visit to the Nagato household.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for more.
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh. What happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him, but making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament. And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me. The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
I see. I understand. Amenoma Yuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price. But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts. Even though I'm still a little mad at him, we're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amenoma Yuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument. This situation is getting a little confusing.
A little confusing? More like completely mystifying.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much. I just want him to come home.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paima was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and, nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
An interesting explanation. I was also considering this possibility. Amenoma Yuya is an expert on swords. He could have noticed some problematic details about Mr. Nagato's collectibles. Maybe he recognized a blade as a fake, or a well-known stolen item. Either way, after arguing about it, the two men agreed to hide the truth of this matter. They thought a fire would destroy everything. But then the Tenryou Commission began investigating and uncovered some incriminating details, so they fled to protect their secrets. But it's a far-fetched theory. I can't imagine how they would have been able to reach an agreement. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined towards initiating conflict. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there? Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together.
Want to point out I am currently lying down in my chair, sleeping until I hear a click or something. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get this counter. Oh well. I got literally most to all genshin counters. See if they do like a rerun.
Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Ishin art.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one going here, but at this rate, it's starting to look like a wild goose chase.
Let's keep going, since we've come this far. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence. Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's turn.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. The remnants of the Tatarigami. Indeed. But this unexpected spring of inauspicious energy may prove to be of benefit to our investigation. We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
So it's an underground warehouse.
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place, but the residue it left behind still hasn't dissipated completely. Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time. From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into violent monsters, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in grave debt.
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside. If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this. Relatively speaking, the risk here is trivial.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary! Paimon was so sure that the warehouse boogeyman was about to jump out at us!
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy source left this place. Two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them. Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from.
Yeah, I'm
Quiet
missing
your
it,
mind
and I
focus
kind
on
of feel
what you
asleep.
sense around you. Perhaps you too will perceive its
Alexa.
ominous presence in the wind.
Well, I tried my best. Bye. Just realised. Whoops. Paimon talking. Go on. Anytime I pause. Anyway.
homeland has become a distant memory. The flames of war continue to rage. We've long shed the last of our blood. Stay strong, my soldiers. One day, I will deliver you to the place I promised.
Morning, Traveler! Did you have a nightmare last night? Paimon could hear you tossing and turning in your sleep. Maybe you're just nervous for the final battle? Just shake it off, Traveler. We're supposed to meet with Moika today.
Add Astra at...
I see. If all goes well, 3 days should be more than enough to forge the name. You won't need to push back the plan.
Thank you. I'd say the sooner you can finish it, the better. I still need to announce the matter to everyone.
Don't worry, we should only need half a day. The Traveler has been in Natlan a while now. The Pilgrim's Chronicle should have enough records of her adventures.
Come in.
Hey, Moika! Oh, Shilonen and St. Lally are here too! Hello!
We were just talking about you. I invited you here for 2 reasons. First, there's the Traveler's ancient name, which is ready to be forged.
Oh yeah! You need the Pilgrim's Chronicle, right? The device the Lord of the Night gave us?
Perfect. Could I take a look?
Sure, I haven't done much with it.
Yep. Well, it looks good. This is definitely enough to work with. Usually the first step in forging an ancient name is performing a ceremony to extract memories from the ley lines. But since the Lord of the Night gave us this record, we can skip that part. Still, I've never used something like this before. This is an entirely new material for me, so I need to look into how the process might change.
I'll help you. My knowledge on the Lord of the Night and the Wyab might come in handy.
That brings me to the second matter. As you already know, once your ancient name is complete, we need to venture into the deepest part of the Night Kingdom. That will happen in 3 days' time.
3 days? So soon? Wait, but...
You're worried about the Traveler, aren't you?
Well, Paimon gave it a lot of thought, and Paimon's not very good at thinking or fighting to begin with. It's just... This plan could save countless lives. Paimon understands why people would want to be a part of something so important. But all this time, Paimon has barely left the Traveler's side. Not to mention, we all know this will be a super dangerous mission.
That's right. And as long as we win, the Ode of Resurrection will return us to this land. The Night Kingdom is a realm of souls and memories, where mental fortitude outweighs physical strength. All in Natlan are resolved to win this war. The sacred flame will connect us to their fighting spirit. We will do whatever it takes to win. So if you want to contribute, just cheer us on, alongside all the people of Natlan. For the Traveler, I'm sure your words of encouragement are among the most important.
The most important? Really? Okay, then please don't do anything reckless. That's what Paimon's trying to avoid. Alright, it's decided. Paimon will cheer the loudest out of everyone in Natlan.
It's less about volume and more about mental focus. But I get it. You're just trying to show how much you care.
Of course, this all depends on the successful completion of the ancient name. Otherwise, the Traveler will not join me. That is the condition.
Don't worry. I swear on the honor of my tribe, I will not fail. I know how important this is.
There's no time to lose. Let's go!
All right, everyone. When we meet again, it will be to deliver the ancient name.
Good luck, you two! Three days, huh? What should we do in the meantime? We know you're still rebuilding, so is there anything we can do to help?
From what I've heard, the two of you have helped more than enough. You should take a well-deserved rest. Even if there are stray abyss monsters out there, our warriors can handle them. Don't worry.
Exactly! We can't take a break! We're adventurers! We gotta live up to the name! We still have a long journey ahead of us and so many places to go! The battle in 3 days is just another part of our adventure.
I see. In that case, just do what you... This final battle is extremely important to me. The culmination of my life's work. Still, I think you've got the right idea. I'm also going to follow my heart. I plan on using these 3 days to calm my mind and work on a painting.
Oh, you know how to paint?
I just learned, actually. I hear it takes a lot of practice to get any good. It could be anything, though. What I really enjoy is the process of getting better at something through practice. It's how I relax. Of course, that's only when I have the time. I'm usually too busy.
So that's how you relax. Well, it definitely seems like your style.
All right, let's go our separate ways for now.
So, if Moika relaxes by working really hard at something, that basically means she never takes a break, right? Wow, she's definitely something else. Oh, hello! Sorry, Moika's not here right now.
There you are!
We made it! Other than our plan almost falling through, nothing at all. The preparations took longer than expected. We were so worried we wouldn't make it before you left on your next big adventure.
Well, if you hadn't overslept...
Details, details! Anyway, come on. Let's go to the people of the springs.
Hold on. Tell us what's going on first.
Oh yeah. Jumped the gun a bit there, didn't I? Basically, we know about your super important mission coming up, and we want to give you a proper send-off. Before the pilgrimage, we usually hold a huge feast. All you can eat, with meat by the tableful.
Ooh, all you can eat?
I knew that would pique your interest, Paimon. You can eat to your heart's content. You won't want to miss out, I promise. Of course, there's not just meat, but also all kinds of fruit, vegetables, desserts, drinks, you name it. You won't be disappointed.
That sounds amazing! We're in! Well, the best adventurers know how to go with the flow, right? Plus, it sounds like this feast is in your honor. If you don't show up, everyone's hard work will be for nothing.
It's our fault for not telling you earlier, so it's okay if you can't make it. Still, if you're not busy, we'd really like you to be there. It won't take up too much of your time. It'll be super fun. Plus, all our friends will be there.
Yes, let's go eat! Huh? What's the holdup?
Huh?
Isn't she painting?
Is that okay? It's not like we prepared anything fancy.
Well, I definitely wasn't expecting that suggestion. She's the Archon, after all. Maybe it's not our place. But we might as well extend the invitation. The Archon is about to fight for us with everything she has. This feast is in her honor, too.
Then who's gonna be the one to invite her?
All of us, of course.
Come in. Oh, it's you four. Is there something you need?
We're here to invite you to the people of the springs for a feast.
Ah, I see. This is a special kind of feast, isn't it?
Exactly. It's a tradition to hold a feast before battle. We couldn't miss out on this opportunity. It's our...
Plus, I always wanted to do something to thank you for saving me from the Night Kingdom.
That was my duty. Besides, it's all in the past now. You don't owe me anything. Although, this feast does sound rather interesting.
So you'll come?
Of course. No need to notify Amina in advance. I'll just surprise her. You don't need to turn this into some kind of grand banquet on my account. I'll try my best to attend as an ordinary person, not an Archon.
It's not like you're the type to pull rank or something.
True, but my presence changes the way people act. I just don't want to spoil the fun. A lot of things can change once an Archon is involved. A barbecue is best fresh off the grill. And still, people will insist on waiting for me to eat first.
Oh yeah, Paimon can see that.
Don't worry, I'll jump in if that happens. I can throw manners to the wind, no problem.
No need, I can take care of it. Anyway, thank you for inviting me. It really means a lot. I don't need to finish it. I enjoy the process, but now there's something more interesting to do.
Then let's go together. The main dish should be ready soon.
kidding. Another one? But this is just a small send-off. What are we going to do with all this stuff? And again, I understand where they're coming from. I'll deal with it. What a headache. If this continues, half of this stuff's gonna go bad before we get to it. Huh? You're here already? And you even brought the Archon? What are you doing here?
We invited her. She agreed to come as a surprise guest.
Surprise is putting it lightly. Sorry. I'm happy you're here. It's just...
No apology necessary. What's going on?
Well, I started spreading the word about the send-off, just around the area like usual. A lot of people are still busy repairing their homes, so I didn't think many people would come. But the turnout has been overwhelming. Not to mention, we've received a small mountain of deliveries. There's no way we can use all this stuff.
That's our Star Outlander's popularity for ya.
You're saying everyone's here because of us? Yep. The news about your impending mission with the Pyro Archon has spread all over Nutland. Plus, you were amazing in the recent battle. A lot of people are here just to thank you, or wish you good luck. Basically, this whole thing is happening because so many people wanted to see you.
Yeah, Mika and the Traveler are in this together. They both deserve a celebration.
Well, this is the perfect excuse to throw an even bigger party. All this extra stuff was gonna go to waste anyway.
No need to go to all that trouble on my account. That's not why I'm here. Besides, with so much of our nation in ruins, resources are still scarce. This extra spending for my sake is the last thing we need.
That's true. Party planning isn't easy. I can handle the big picture, but I'm not used to dealing with the finer details. That was always Auntie Atea's job. Sorry. I'm just feeling a bit in over my head.
Oh, speaking of Atea, how is she? Is she feeling any better?
Oh. Actually,
Oh.
there's something we haven't told you. Auntie Atea passed away not long after the attack on our tribe.
What?
When you brought me her talisman, I knew her end was near. Luckily, I got the chance to see her one last time. She was a hero to the very end. Even though her body was at its breaking point, she showed no pain or sorrow. In her final moments, her thoughts were entirely with her tribe and her people. Gatherings like this remind me of her and the parties she loved to organize, so I decided to attend in her memory.
We didn't mean to hide anything from you. It's just, there was never a good time to bring it up.
Cheer up, everyone. Auntie Atea wouldn't want us to remember her with tears. Parties like this were her specialty. But now, it's up to us to carry on her legacy. So we can't let her down. Believe me, she has high standards.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, come on, let's get to work, everyone. Oh, Chief Amina and our guests of honor excluded. Kachina can each time to go.
Wait, you don't have to drag me.
Amina, you mentioned something about a surplus of supplies. I may have a solution. First, invite anyone who comes to deliver supplies to stay for the gathering. If it's a caravan, ask them to extend an invitation to the sender as well. Make it clear in the invitation that anyone is welcome to attend, but you're no longer accepting donations. In addition, All leftover supplies will be purchased by the Speaker's Chamber, sorted, and donated to the appropriate areas.
That would be such a big help, Archon! Thank you! I'll get on it, right away! Amazing plan, Malika! It was clear, concise, and organized. But, weren't you trying to keep this small?
I don't mind increasing the size of the gathering, I just didn't want it to be because of me. My approach to problem solving is always the same. Different solutions lead to different outcomes. The method may change, but the right choice is always grounded in logic and reason.
Whoa. Hana feels like she just learned a thing or two. Well, should we take a walk while everyone finishes the preparation?
Sounds good. A casual stroll can be hard to come by. Let's go.
Yes, Coach!
Are you still helping rebuild the tribes?
I heard about your efforts. The Speaker's Chamber can take it from here. It's more effective to have a focused task force, and the Speaker's Chamber can contact the Fatui directly for more doses. The worst is over, so it should be fine. I'll confirm it myself later. I'll be in touch with next steps. I just need you to compile all existing patient records to ease the transition.
Wow, that's so responsible of you.
Chaska?
Hello, Archon. I'm, fishing.
Oh, doesn't look like the fish are biting today.
Yeah. It's okay. You don't have to walk on eggshells around me. I know you can tell I'm not really trying to fish, but gazing at the water puts me at ease.
I went to visit your parents, Chaska. Of course, I could only offer a few simple condolences.
You helped a lot, actually. My mom has been doing better since your visit. I've always been grateful to my parents for taking me in, but now I have an even deeper sense of responsibility. I'll never be able to replace Koichi, but I will do everything in my power to pull them out of their loneliness and despair.
That's exactly what your mother is worried about. She doesn't want you to push yourself to make up for their loss. After all, it's your loss too. Grief is not something that can be measured against others. You don't need to make amends, Chaska. Your loss is a tragedy, not a debt. In any case, they've always loved both of you. There's no need for you to become Koichi when they love you just for yourself.
Yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Thank you, everyone. Sounds like I owe my parents a conversation.
Nothing. We're just taking a look around. Oh, really?
That's a bit of an exaggeration. I just asked Kanich to help identify some of the unknown casualties from the battle. The fighting consumed all of Natlan. Countless humans and Saurians were dragged into the conflict. So a lot of investigative work is required to confirm their identities.
Because Natlan's heroes deserve to be remembered, right?
Exactly. That is how we, as the living, respect our heroes and the values of their lives. So let me know if you need extra help, Kanich. Understood. Thank you for your hard work.
Hey, looks like the food is almost ready. Let's head over. Paimon can't wait to feast. Oh, but if there are still people you want to see, that's okay. We can head over later, too.
Oh, Mother Granny, Archon. I swear, I've been on my best behavior recently.
Paimon knows it's just how you talk, but you've got to realize how suspicious that sounds, right?
I am curious, though. Are you still working with the captain?
No, I don't have a reason to follow him anymore. So my life is back to normal. Growing vegetables, raising aphids. Well, maybe not completely normal. I'm still keeping tabs on the situation in the Night Kingdom. The ley lines are in a bad state.
We plan on bringing that to an end.
I know. You and other Granny, right? You're going to become great heroes. And the most I can do is weave a scroll of your deeds.
Oh, you know how to do that?
Most people from my tribe know the art, but I'm not very good. I can never seem to empty my mind. We commemorate the deeds of others as a form of inspiration. But rather than waiting for someone else to be inspired, isn't it faster to just take things into your own hands?
Well, there are always things we can't do on our own.
I wouldn't phrase it quite like that, but Paimon's not wrong. Time will give you an answer. I know how you feel, Auroron. It took me a long time to find my place in the world. I'm more mature now, but that passion, that drive to prove myself, I miss it sometimes. Maybe you'll change in the future, but you can still be proud of who you are now.
You're saying I need to live in the present? Thank you, Archon. That's what I've always tried to do.
should send the drinks out first. There's a bunch of guests here already.
Yep. I'm making the juice as we speak. Oh, right, ice.
Huh? Oh, you scared me. Sorry, we're a little busy in the kitchen right now. But the...
Ahow! Get out of the ice bucket!
The almighty Dragon Lord, Kahul-Ahow, will not tolerate this stifling hut! We seek a cool place of repose. This bucket suits our taste.
Oh, great. Now we can't use any of this ice. Hey! This is your mess! Get back here! Kachina, Ahow is on the run. Help me catch him.
Okay. Sorry, I gotta help with the how.
As usual, Ahow brings chaos wherever he goes.
Lively, isn't it? Leave this to me, Kachina.
What is this? Who dares lay a hand on the almighty... Mawika!
I got him, Mualani.
Oh, expert Ahow wrangling, Archon. Thank you.
You shall utter our name with more reverence, or we shall... or I'll get Kanich to... Some Dragon Lord you are if you need your servant to protect you.
Ahow ruined an entire bucket of ice. We have others, but still, that was not cool. How should he be punished, Archon?
Seems like you could use some extra hands around here. Ahow, help out in the kitchen.
What? The almighty Dragon Lord, Kahul-Ahow, shall not be reduced.
I wasn't asking.
Understood.
Ahow, you have to learn to be good at some point.
Well, hop to it. There's a pile of vegetables with your name on it. You need to wash every leaf.
Help! Someone save me!
Fresh cold drinks.
So full. I'm practically a blubber beast.
What's that?
A creature from Fontaine with a super round belly. You've never seen a picture of one?
Oh, it sounds so cute.
Paimon can vouch for their cuteness. You can pat their belly and they'll even join in. Wow, she must have been a great fighter to keep up with you.
Wait, now that you mention it, I've had dreams of Auntie Atea. She was her typical self, brave and stern, always with that indescribable warmth. I've never had a dream that felt so real. Just like you said, it felt like I actually got to see her again.
So it wasn't just me.
Wait, you've had dreams too? Oh, don't tell Paimon you dreamt of your aphids or something.
It wasn't just them. Some of the Gramps and Grannies who looked after me were there too. Growing up, I could always hear a degree of guilt in the way they spoke to me. It's why they never asked anything of me. Why they gave me so much freedom. I never wanted things to be that way. But even in my own dreams, nothing changed. They sounded exactly the same, just like real life.
The same thing happened to me. I dreamt of Io's grandparents.
Io? Oh, right, your Saurian companion.
Io's grandparents fell to the abyss during the battle, so it's been really hard for him. He's barely been eating. I set up a tent near his home so I could be there for him. And I had a dream that his grandparents came back. I was so happy. In the dream, Io seemed like his normal self again. But it was only for a moment, and then I woke up. In real life, Io is still struggling. He barely sleeps or eats. But it's all right. I'll be there for him.
Traveler? Chaska? Did you two... Oh, sorry, never mind.
When did this become story hour? Still, I have nothing to hide. I dreamt about Koichi. She told me I felt like a completely different person. She said I'm going down the right path, so she doesn't need to pick fights with me anymore. Maybe your dreams felt real, but the Koichi I saw was nothing like her real self. She would never say anything like that to me. It was a dream. Nothing more. It's fine. I'm the one being a buzzkill.
Well, what about you, Traveler? Did you have a special dream?
You're kidding. The captain?
No, of course not!
Maybe the Traveler's dream is a different kind of phenomenon.
I may know the cause of the dreams. At the end of the battle, I launched a special kind of night war by using the power of the Divine Throne. Its great power allowed the Ode of Resurrection to bring back all casualties, independent of the time of victory or the possession of an ancient name. In addition, the power of the Divine Throne revitalized the souls and memories within the Night Kingdom, allowing them to take the form of their past selves. Even after the battle, that effect still lingers. That's why those you lost were able to reappear in your dreams. But I agree with Auroron. The Traveler's dream is likely a different matter.
The shamans of my tribe often receive visions of the future through dreams. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, exactly.
So, the Traveler saw the captain's future?
It's still unclear, but Granny taught me how to interpret dreams. Would it be okay if I tried to take a look? If I can observe your soul, I can find out the key elements of the dream. You're thinking of the Dendro Archon, right? My tribe's power over dreams is nothing compared to that of an Archon. Observing the dreamscape requires a ritual and can only reveal static images. We also need the full cooperation of the dreamer. Otherwise, the process could be used to violate the privacy of others.
I also have a fairly good understanding of the ritual. What do you say, Traveler? Should we start the preparations?
Then I'll start getting ready. We'll carry out the ceremony somewhere else. I never knew you could make it this way. This formula's new to me.
Your granny never taught you about incense making?
No. She usually just lists off the ingredients and tells me to follow the formula.
Then you still have a lot to learn from her. All right, we're ready, Traveler. Once you head inside, you'll fall into a brief sleep. Auroron will interpret the dreamscape, but you won't feel a thing.
That's right. Everything's all set.
So, you just need to take a nap? Sounds easy enough.
Here, have some water. It'll help to clear your head.
You're awake already, Traveler? That was fast.
It was enough. What did you learn, Auroron?
The person next to the captain. I've seen him before. He was the one who tried to possess me back at the ruin.
Huh? It was him? Guthred, right? The military doctor?
So you know that name too?
Yeah, the captain told us about him when we were helping Eon-san. He was the one who developed the draft of lucidity, a drug that could help people with hallucinations.
I see. After the battle, I returned to my tribe and began searching through our records of the catastrophe 500 years ago. Even though my encounter with him was brief, I managed to track down some information. The record said he was cold and decisive. Like the captain, he was formidable in battle, but the two upheld very different ideas of justice.
So, he didn't have the captain's sense of... honor?
That makes sense. The best partners are those who complement each other.
Wait, if there are records of all this, that must mean the captain was famous in Natlan.
Yes, but unless he brings up his past, few are likely to make the connection between a Fatui harbinger and Thrain, one of Natlan's legendary heroes.
Guthred is also a respected figure in our nation. The story of how he sacrificed himself for Natlan is a pretty famous tribal legend. But there's still something I don't understand. I'm the only one who saw him. You shouldn't be able to dream of someone you've never met. And yet, the figure in your dream looked exactly like him.
I don't think that's a coincidence. I believe what the Traveler saw was Guthred's soul.
But didn't he die hundreds of years ago? There's no way his soul could have survived that long.
Maybe he found his way to the Night Kingdom for a little bit.
No. The Night Kingdom only accepts the souls of Natlan. It's always been that way. The Ruler of Death likely wanted to prevent the Ode of Resurrection from being abused.
When I was with the captain, I could hear something coming from him. Souls that were not his own. I heard voices of sorrow and pain, sometimes faint, sometimes strong.
Wait, are you saying the captain has had Guthred's soul inside of him all along?
That's the part I don't understand. Ordinary people shouldn't be able to carry the souls of others. It's only possible for me because my situation is unique. And even then, you saw what happened. The Lord of the Night's voice triggers a violent reaction in those with fragmented souls. I even checked his soul myself. It's resilient. radiant and entirely in one piece.
Maybe it has something to do with Guthrid then.
It's very possible. It's still too early to tell, but the continued existence of Guthrid's soul is likely the key to figuring out the captain's true intentions.
I agree.
The captain never revealed anything to you? The two of you worked together for quite some time.
No, he rarely talked about himself. We were united in our efforts to save Natlan, but it never went beyond that.
Let's come back to this later. One final step, and we save Natlan for good. That must be our focus. I'll tell the officials at the speaker's chamber to monitor the captain. Nevertheless, I doubt his goal will interfere with our plan.
Yeah, he's definitely up to something. But there are far more important things for Paimon to worry about. Like if Paimon had to rate her level of worry, the captain gets maybe 50 points. But considering the final battle, you two get at least 2,000!
In any case, conjecture will only get us so far. It might be more useful for you to ask the captain directly, Auroron. With any luck, he might just tell you the truth.
Huh? Me?
Don't tell me you haven't noticed his respect for you. The first of the Fatui Harbingers doesn't work with just anyone. Fortune favors the bold. So if you ask me, posing the question directly is the wiser choice.
I'm not so sure, but I'll give it a try.
All right, let's head back and enjoy the party.
Thank you so much for coming, everyone! As this gathering comes to a close, let's hear it for the Pyro Archon and the Traveler one last time!
Good luck.
You've got this!
For Natlan!
Thank you, everyone. Today has meant so much to me. It's been a long time since I had the chance to truly relax.
Yeah, today was great.
Well, that concludes the send-off. Everyone is free to go. Any volunteers willing to stick around for cleanup, follow me!
Oh, I'm in.
All right, I'm gonna head back to the stadium. I'm sure there's a lot of work to make up at the speaker's chamber.
Wait, what happened to taking a break?
There is no break from the responsibilities of an Archon. Anyone else heading to the stadium? We can go together.
Yeah, I'll come. There's a few things I want to pick up before I head home. No one really needs a peacemaker right now, so I think I'll spend some time with my parents.
Okay, see you soon!
Time for me to head back too. Oh, wait. I should stop by Aoife's place first.
Which one? Which parents? The human one or the bird one?
I need to make sure he's taking care of my radishes.
Of course you do. Well, safe travels. Oh, wait! Paimon wanted to ask something. Where was the How this whole time? What goes around comes around.
guess I should head out too. It's gonna be super late by the time I get back. I think I'll go see Shilonin. She's probably done with your ancient name by now. I can check for you. Yeah, Shilonin is an amazing engraver. She usually works really fast. But your ancient name is a special case, so I can't say for sure.
Well, we also don't have anything to do, so why don't we go together?
Oh, it's okay. I'm not alone. Turbo Twirly's with me. Still, if you want to check on the progress, we should definitely go together. Getting an ancient name is such a special moment.
Woo! Let's go! Help! Someone save me!
Hey, remember when you first arrived in Natlan? It was still light out, and we traveled on this road together. It was the day before the pilgrimage, and we met up with Kanich and Mualani.
Wow, feels like it was just yesterday.
Yeah, you saved me from the Night Kingdom, you helped us win that battle against the Abyss, and the final battle is just around the corner. Huh? Oh yeah, you're right. I was so nervous the night before the pilgrimage, but your words of encouragement made me feel a lot better. I slept so well that night, and earned the best score I've ever had in the pilgrimage. So, if you're nervous, traveler, maybe I can encourage you this time. I've learned so much from you, but I doubt I can return the favor. I knew it! I really look up to your bravery, traveler. Alright, let's keep going.
Hey, this is where we met Toto, isn't it?
Yeah, but Toto probably won't be able to come back here for a while. During the battle, Toto refused to leave this place. Monsters started closing in and he got really injured. But an amazing doctor saved his life! The doctor said he refused to leave because of his territorial instincts. I have a different idea, though. Toto is a gentle creature. He's not aggressive or territorial. He loves his home and wants to share that with everyone in the area. I don't like conflict or violence either. Toto and I are similar in that way. But we want to protect the things we love from being destroyed. So, we chose to fight. Love is an extremely positive and powerful emotion, but sometimes it comes with pain. That's what my dad always says. Now I finally understand what he meant. It's alright. This will all be over soon. The fact that I was born in this era, that I got to meet legendary heroes like you and our Archon, actually makes me feel really lucky. I've always wanted to see what Natlan would be like without the Abyss. And now, that day is just around the corner. I know you two can win this.
Yeah, it's time to get this over with. We've still got a long journey ahead of us.
Come on, we're almost there. Wait, that's Hanwi. Hey, Hanwi, what are you doing here? Oh, let me introduce you. This is Aya's mom.
Hello!
Oh no, you seem worried. Is something wrong? She left. Come on, let's follow her. She's really freaking out. What's going on? Oh, it's because of Io. Aw, still no change, huh? Poor thing.
Oh, right. You said Io's grandparents died in the battle.
Yeah. When the Abyss attacked, Io's entire family fought to defend our tribe. Io's parents made it through, but his grandparents weren't so lucky. The whole family was really close, and now Io barely sleeps or eats. All he wants to do is look for them. Maybe he thinks his grandparents are still out there somewhere, but there's no bringing them back. Hey, Io. It's me. Feeling any better? I brought some steak for you. I know it's your favorite, and it's still warm. Nope. It's like he doesn't even know I'm here.
Traveler, doesn't this situation remind you of abyssal corrosion syndrome?
Huh? What's abyssal corrosion syndrome?
According to the captain, it's a kind of mental disorder that results from abyssal contamination, even after its power has been purified. It can cause hallucinations, mental breakdowns. It's really dangerous.
That does kind of sound like what's happening to Io, but I don't think he was contaminated by the Abyss.
It's hard to say for sure. Still, abyssal power was everywhere during the battle. Maybe it affected him indirectly.
It's possible.
Yeah, that medicine was really effective against the worst cases. Since we don't have any other options, should we give it...
Okay. But just a small amount. Since it was developed for humans, it might have a different effect on us.
Yeah, better safe than sorry.
okay? I'm so relieved! Thank you so much! That medicine is amazing! Done eating, Ayo? Then you should get some rest. You've barely slept these past few days. Okay. You're full of energy, aren't you? Fine, I won't nag you. Just don't overdo it. Thank you so much, you two. You helped save Ayo. Could you share some of that medicine with me? I want to be able to help someone else if I were to run into a sim.
Of course.
You know, I used to take a lot of things for granted. Growing up, it's easy to think that everything around you will just exist forever. But the battle taught me that very few things in life are permanent. Like this path, for example. It's the same one we walked before, but now the view is completely different. It makes the things we love even more precious. So, I want to do as much... Actually, that's something I learned from you. You really taught me a lot.
Yeah, you're so talented and strong. Practically a star pupil.
Really? So you think I'm doing a good job? I've been a good disciple? Or a student? Thank you. I won't let you down. I'll train even harder tomorrow. Alright, we're not far from the tribe. Let's go. Bye, Ayo. Bye, Hanwi. Bye, Onpeo.
Wouldn't want to impose. Let's see how things go with Shilonen first.
Totally up to you. You're always welcome. Bye!
When you think about it, we actually haven't known Kachina that long. Our journey in Natland feels like it just started, and now it's about to end. That's true. We'll just have to add them to the itinerary. Alright, time to go check on our... your ancient name.